During your lifetime, you will be faced with decisions that will completely change the way you experience your time on this planet. Although most decisions are reversible, they will have a major impact on your life. These are, in our opinion, the best decisions you can make in life. Moving to a place that allows you to grow. There is a place where you grew up, and there is also a place where you will end up. However, somewhere in between, there is a small place where you grow up. When you leave your parents' house, you don't have much choice about where you end up. Maybe it's the city where your college is located, maybe you're moving somewhere for work, or to a place where starting adult life from scratch is a little easier. But at some point you will find yourself in a position where you have the means and the space to decide where to move, based solely on whether the new place is a good fit for you. Maybe it's the perfect place to raise your children, maybe it's closer to the sea and allows you a healthier lifestyle, or it's close to the mountains where you'll discover the beauty of hiking in nature and fresh air. The bottom line is that deciding to move to a place because it's good for you is always, always, a great decision. Understanding money ASAP. The reality is that the world will always run on money. Those are the facts. At the end of the day, you can't do anything in this world without money. Yes, walking in the park does not cost money, but renting an apartment in a city with a park does. Just like watching a movie at home doesn't cost much, unless you count the television, Netflix subscription, internet and electricity bill, assuming you already have an apartment. You see, in our opinion, it's pretty irresponsible to think that you can understand life without understanding money first. This is because there are two types of problems: money problems, such as food, clothing, housing, education, etc., and life problems, such as discovering your purpose, passion, who you are, and so on. When we say money savvy, we don't mean becoming incredibly rich and having more money than you can count. We think you have enough money to not worry about bills, vacations, where to send your kids to college, or if you can afford surgery or a safer car for your family. So, understanding money is a decision you should fully support. Deciding to fully commit to something. There's this quote from Seth Rogen from a few months ago where he said, "If you don't give up, you might make it, but if you give up, you definitely won't." It is a simple and very powerful truth. Big things take time and commitment, and most of the time even after you've analyzed all the analytics and calculated everything that needs to be calculated, you still can't be sure. No one really knows how things will turn out in the end. The only thing you can do is decide whether to stick with it until the end or not. The current project you started can become a successful business or end up in the eternal graveyard of failed startups. The new job you get can launch your career, or you can end up with a dead-end job with no way out and a hard ceiling above you. The bottom line is that the only way to find out how it all ends is to be there. Decision on close relations. Habits and mentalities tend to be passed down from person to person. You don't really have a choice about who you spend time with when you're growing up because you're limited to your immediate area. After that, however, choosing who you spend your time with and who you don't have a huge impact on your outlook on life. This is not limited to people and physical spaces, but also applies to the type of content you consume, which accounts you follow online, which podcasts you listen to, which books you read, which movies you watch, etc. Your time, in its most basic form, is spent in one of two ways: input or output. Input means you spend time consuming something others have created, and that includes everything from Twitter threads and headlines to listening to conversations. On the other hand, output means using your time to create something, which includes everything from making breakfast to sharing an idea. The thing is, your input strongly influences your output. Negative input results in negative output. In other words, if you spend time with unhappy people and consume negative content, there's a good chance you'll end up unhappy with an extremely pessimistic outlook on life. It's just not worth it. Some people will lift you up and some will bring you down, so choose wisely who you spend time with. Investing effort in solving problems. Everyone at some point carries a burden that slows them down, like constant pain that comes back every now and then. What we've found is that putting in the effort to deal with that pain is always worth it. People are not always who they say they are. They are either what they try to be or what they allow themselves to be. But the effort to be the person you want to be is ironically difficult. For example, if you have been threatened and your health and well-being are seriously compromised because of it, you must first admit that factor, which is embarrassing because you admit that you did not take good enough care of yourself. Then you have to put in the effort to lose the weight, and going to the gym in your current state can be a little uncomfortable. You may feel insecure. If you find yourself in a difficult financial situation, you must first admit that you are not good with money, which is never fun. It never feels good. Getting out of poverty is a difficult but doable task. The bottom line is that if you have pain that is constantly gnawing at your mind, make an effort to resolve it. The decision to be happy. Contrary to popular belief, happiness is not the absence of sadness. Happiness comes from accomplishments and a sense of purpose, along with people and memories. When you succeed in something you focused on, you feel great satisfaction and well-being, and that success can be anything you consider worthwhile. It can be something as simple as maintaining a basic routine in the morning, such as always making the bed after waking up, or something more complicated such as being on the cover of a magazine of the most influential people in a certain industry. The feeling is the same at its core. Furthermore, a sense of purpose comes from something that really matters to you, such as being a great friend, a great teacher, or being a part of something bigger than yourself. When you actively pursue these two things and do it with other people and create memories in the process, that's when happiness comes to you. Being a pillar of light for others is one of the most exhausting decisions you can make. By doing so, you not only positively influence others, but create a meaningful connection that increases your sense of purpose. When you lift others up, lead them, or simply provide emotional support, you will feel the satisfaction and warmth that comes with incredible fulfillment. It's about making a conscious decision to not only focus on your own journey, but to be a key part of someone else's journey, enriching both lives in the process. Building something from scratch. Building something from scratch brings indescribable fulfillment. Starting something from scratch and watching it grow, whether it's a business, a project, or any kind of creation, awakens the innovator in you. This allows you to channel your creativity, determination, and problem-solving skills directly into something tangible and profitable. It's not always about the success or the final goal, but the journey, the learning, and the experience of creation itself that makes this decision so meaningful. Being a mentor and young student. Life is continuous learning, and one of the most powerful decisions is to be both a mentor and a student. As a mentor, you share your knowledge, experience, and wisdom to help others avoid the pitfalls you encountered. It's a rewarding relationship where you can make a significant impact on someone else's life and career. On the other hand, being a student means acknowledging that there is always room for growth and improvement. Having a mentor allows you to learn, gain new perspectives, and be guided by someone who has walked the path you want to follow. It is a mutual relationship of respect, learning, and development. Leave things better than you found them. Resolve to always leave things better than you found them, be it situations, places, or relationships. This is not only about improvement, but also about accountability and respect. By doing so, you contribute positively to the world, add value, and make a difference. It is a principle that, when applied to life, becomes a guide to living more deeply, respectfully, and purposefully. As the saying goes, plant a tree, even if you don't stay in its shade. We hope you learned something valuable here today. What decisions have you made that have had a significant impact on your life? We are interested to find out. On that note, see you again.